Welcome to the Fuzzy Mike, the interview series, the podcast, whatever Kevin wants to call it. It's Fuzzy Mike.
Hello, and thank you for joining me on the Fuzzy Mike, where we give you entertaining and helpful conversation on mental health navigation. I'm your host, Kevin Kline. On the Tuttle and Kline podcast, the podcast I co-host with my longtime radio partner, Tim Tuttle, where we give you new episodes every Wednesday, we spoke with Tim's brother, Todd Tuttle, retired U.S. Army colonel. See, Todd's 2 months into a 6-month hike on the Appalachian Trail. He's doing it for Warriors Expedition. Now, Todd has covered 550 of the nearly 2,200 miles of the trail. He started in Georgia. He's gone through Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. He's now in Virginia. And Todd's doing it, along with 9 other hikers, as part of Warriors Expedition. It's a veteran nonprofit outdoor therapy program that helps veterans transition from their wartime experiences through long-distance outdoor expedition. During the expedition, veterans have the opportunity to decompress from their military service and come to terms with their wartime experiences. So we asked Todd, when he was on with us the other day, if what he's experienced so far has had the impact on his mental healing that he hoped it would have for this massive undertaking.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt that the what you get out of long-term exposure with nature, or what they call nature therapy, I could definitely tell a difference with me. And they say it really doesn't click until about 1,000-mile mark. But yeah, the other veterans are doing great. Since I, saw them at the start, almost 2 months ago, we cross paths all the time. I've been with one guy in particular, Papa Smurf is his trail name. And he is definitely coming along. Physically, we're all getting better too, obviously losing weight, getting stronger, doing that. But emotional and mental health, awesome. There's nothing better than being out in nature.
That's the second question that my psychiatrist asks me when I see him on my regular visit. How active are you? We've long discussed the benefits of physical activity, how it's the most affordable and natural way to curb mental struggles. It's what I call clearing the cobwebs. You don't have to do something as big as what Todd is doing. You don't have to run like I do. All you have to do is find something physical, whether it's walking, biking, gardening, anything that gets you moving, and you'll be amazed at how different you feel. Listen, I hate starting. It's the worst part of anything for me. In our case here, since we're talking about physical activity, and long-distance running is my method of mental clarity movement, I'm going to equate it to that. Starting is difficult for me for so many reasons. First and foremost, I'd rather sleep in. But once I get up, though, I have to prepare my gear and body. I fill my hydration bladder, put on my Trail Toes anti-chafing and blister prevention cream. I swear by this stuff. I put it on my feet. I put it under my arms. I put it between my legs, my groin area, a little bit in the backside, if you know what I mean. You never know where you're going to chafe when you're running 20 miles plus at a time. Then I cover my nipples with those little circular Band-Aids. I spray 100 SPF sunscreen on my neck and my arms. I put the similar amount on my nose with a cream. Then I warm up and stretch because I'm old now. And then I go outside in the heat and I see that hill that's waiting for me because we live at the bottom. So every run starts uphill. And those are the immediate detriments to starting. There's about 45 minutes where I can talk myself out of running. But once I put those nip covers on, I have to run because I don't like wasting them. And if I put them on only to take them off without running, that's a waste. So now I've started, but there's more starting that stares me in the face. The starting of a new routine. How many days can I stick with this? But to motivate me further, as if my own mental clarity and mental health isn't enough to motivate me, I sign up for a race, or I think of some running feat I could do that would give me a goal to work towards. So now I've started a countdown to a specific date. But here's the thing. Once I start, it becomes easier. After my first mile, it's still shorter to turn around and go back 1 mile than it is to finish the remaining 13 here's what I say to myself. Kev, you're already in it. You might as well finish it. Suddenly, I'm relaxed. I'm taking in my surroundings. I'm looking for wildlife, deer, squirrels, turtles, snakes. And I'm appreciating the flowing water in the river beside me. Now, 13 more miles is a treat. It's no longer a chore. This is where the healing and mental health progress begins, because I let go of all the reasons not to do something and can now consume all of the reasons to do it. A previous guest here on the Fuzzy Mic, hopefully you've listened to or watched my conversation with Bobby Sexton, because it's so informative and empowering, and it's one of my all-time favorite conversations. Coach Bobby said two things that have stayed with me since he said them. What is the difference between our mindset as what I'm going to say athletic mortals and professional athletes, athletic immortals?
Difference is when they make a decision to do something, it's done. There's no variation. There's no going back. You know, if it's, I'm going to work out 6 days a week at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're going to work out 6 days a week at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're not going to wake up and, you know, oh, I'm too tired today, roll back over. It's done. Their mind is so focused that, you know, there's no variation once they make their mind up to do something.
Well, for the past 2 weeks, I've been living exactly what Bobby said. I've made a commitment that I'm going to follow a running schedule, and there's no wavering. Once I'm committed, it's a done deal.
The brain wanting to be comfortable at all times, it also resists positive change.
Oh,
because even positive change is change.
yes.
For the brain. So, you know, if you've been doing something and it's uncomfortable, but your brain has gotten comfortable with it, your brain doesn't want to change that. So it says, no, back off. And, you know, what I try to help people understand is if you're focused, you can actually use that to your advantage. You know, in tricking the brain to helping it understand that, you know, what you're trying to accomplish is not the negative. It's the positive. It's the comfortable. And once you get to a point when you work that enough, you can be successful with it. And then the brain starts to help you change yourself.
Wake up and I say, oh, I got to run, then I'm not real enthused about it. But if I wake up and I say, oh, I get to run, that's
Exactly.
okay. So it is just as simple as that then.
It is. If you're consistent with that, it becomes automatic.
Wow.
You know, running doesn't become a chore anymore. Running becomes a treat. And your brain sees it that way. And once you get the brain seeing it that way, your brain says, no, you got to run. You have to run. You know, if you don't run, I'm not comfortable. And that's the goal ultimately.
And it hasn't taken long at all for my mind to crave the activity. It's Monday as I record this. And Monday, according to my schedule now, is my day off from everything. No running, no walking, no biking, no lifting weights, nothing. And my body and mind right now are asking me, what's going on? I am sitting here wanting to start and dreading sitting here. And that's my message to you this week. If you're having a low point and need the cobwebs cleared, just start. I know. I totally understand. It's hard to do. But after you start, it gets easier. Take it from Todd Tuttle. Nature therapy provides so much benefit, from a definite mental aspect to even a possible physical transformation, depending on your activity decision. That will also positively affect your mind. So go for a walk, maybe a jog, tend to a garden, go birding, or try your hand at florography and seek out different flowers to identify. Let Mother Nature nurture your mental well-being. Thank you for listening or watching on YouTube. For the entire conversation with Todd while he's on the Appalachian Trail, listen to this week's new episode of the Tuttle and Kline podcast. Here's an activity you can easily do that will help boost my self-esteem and mood. Give the Fuzzy Mike a rating, comment, like, follow, or subscribe, and share the podcast with family, friends, and even enemies. To stay connected with the Fuzzy Mike, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or send me an email at thefuzzymike@gmail.com. The Fuzzy Mike is hosted and produced by Kevin Kline. Production elements by Zach Sheesh at the Radio Farm. Social media director is Trish Kline. I'll be back next Tuesday with a new episode of The Fuzzy Mike, where we're going to talk about external worth and validation with an expert guest. So grateful for you. Thank you.
That's it for the Fuzzy Mike. Thank you. The Fuzzy Mike with Kevin Kline.